Hey everyone, this is Player 1.
And this is Player 2.
And we're coming to you with another podcast.
Yeah, I'm so enthusiastic. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm glad you're here. One thing I want to say, I guess we could talk about right away is the Anime Expo that's been taking place in the last couple of days. There's a bunch of new games coming out. And in fact, let us know if you guys like seeing us talk about new releases and stuff. We'll do it. What are some that you're excited about?
Well, I actually like the whole zombie, the high school girls versus zombies.
Oh yeah, it's like Zombie Schoolgirls or something.
Yeah.
It's one of our videos. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I liked it. I saw some of the gameplay and I was actually interested in it.
Well, it's by the people that did EDF.
Yeah, so
that's a plus.
I'm a huge EDF fan.
However,
I do think that they milked that EDF though.
Yeah, they milk it quite a bit because it should look better than that by now.
Especially
it actually sells pretty damn well.
Pretty damn well. Those motherfuckers are swimming in money. So, I mean, that's a topic we'll address in a couple minutes. But
well, check this out. Somebody commented on the other video, the video of that article, saying that it actually was a bit of a disappointment. They had imported the game and that it didn't really have as much content as EDF.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about because I've been noticing a lot of these Japanese games coming over to the West are full of microtransactions, like a bunch of really nasty stuff.
Well, we're gonna talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, we definitely are. But yeah, I am interested in that too because I'm a big fan of EDF, like you, and it's one of those things where I want to see it. A bunch of girls killing zombies. I'm a big fan of Onichambara. I know it's not the greatest game, but it actually is fun to watch. In short bursts, it's actually pretty good.
It actually is fun to watch. There's some of the game mechanics that I don't really like, and I'm not a fan for it, but I do like it. I mean, it's something different.
I like the costumes.
You like the costumes?
I like the costumes.
I know you want to wear those bikinis.
Yeah, I've always dreamed about wearing that banana thing.
I ain't gonna let you wear it here.
What else? Is there anything else that you're really excited about?
So, the 7 Deadly Sins is interesting.
We don't know much about that yet.
I know. I like the anime that Netflix has. I think it was imported from Japan.
I assume so.
I've seen
I saw the entire first season and like a little bit over half of the second one.
Well, I like it and I'm interested in the game. However, with everything, I always like to look at it very closely before I actually go out and spend $60 because I'm not made out of money. I mean, it is what it is. Another one is Demon Gaze 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Are you a big fan of like those dungeon crawlers?
Depends really. I am, but there are some that I just can't get into. Like the E-Train series, the Odyssey. For some reason, I like the whole mapping and everything of the dungeon, but I just can't. After a certain amount of time, I just can't get into it.
Is it like the way it looks, like when you're walking around, that you don't like?
Not so much, because a lot of dungeon crawlers are kind of similar, but
yeah,
after a while, I can't do it.
That makes sense. I like dungeon crawlers. What I don't like about some of these dungeon crawlers is like the ones that you can make your own party. It's cool that you have the freedom to do that, but because of that, the story usually suffers. Usually the issue is because you can make your own party, you don't get the story elements because your characters are kind of random and they don't write a story for each one and you get that whole thing going on. But I do like some of them. I thought Demon Gaze was pretty good.
What's another one that you're waiting for?
Well, for me, I had that zombie one I was waiting for. There's a bunch of like these. Before I talk about what I'm waiting for, I want to hear what you guys have to say. So please leave a comment about this below. I'm curious. There's all these announced visual novels that are like otome or otome novels, which are basically novels for like women, or like it's for a female audience. So instead of having the typical be a guy falling in love with women, you're like a girl that kind of has love interests.
I know about those because I've had some friends that actually like those, and my girlfriend kind of has tried some of those and she likes them. So I'm just waiting for the day that they're done with them because I'll just take them. And it's not because I'll play them or anything. I just want to complete a collection. So I'll just steal them. I mean, not steal them. I'll borrow them from my girlfriend and
borrow them permanently, indefinitely.
Yeah, I'll borrow them from my girlfriend. So
I've never been much into those. I don't like playing. This is weird. Not that I don't like playing as a girl, because even sometimes I make an RPG character like that. But I don't like the whole romancing guys. It's not for me, man.
Well, I don't like to romance guys.
In the game, dude. In the game.
Or in games.
All right. Well, that's what I'm curious about. Those of you listening below, if you...
Actually, I'll take that back. As Commander Shepard, the female version, I romanced the shit out of a lot of people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Garrus was on his knees.
Well, Garrus is different. Garrus is the kind of guy... I don't know he's a guy. He's an alien. But he's probably one of the guys that I don't fault you if you romance him in a game because he's a badass.
He was a pimp, dude.
He was a pimp.
He was a pimp.
Could dance better than Shepard.
Yeah, everybody can.
Touche. So here, 2 games that I'm interested in. I'm interested in that Little Witch Arcadia, or Academia. Is that what it's called? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Actually, I'm very interested in that one too. I saw some of the screenshots and it's very interesting. I think it's a 2D platformer.
Something like that. It's like a 2D kind of fighter.
Yeah, and I like
or
the
not
way...
a fighter, but like a scroller, a 2D scroller kind of thing.
Yeah, and I like the way it looks. It's very interesting. I want to see more about it.
There's an anime. It's based on an anime.
Yes,
I haven't checked
that.
it out, but it's on Netflix. Have you checked that out yet?
No, I haven't checked that out either, so I have no idea what it's about. I mean, it's schoolgirl, witch schoolgirl. I
mean, a bunch of girls that are witches.
So, but in any case, I believe, is it coming out for the Vita?
No, I didn't check. I forgot, but I know it's coming out for the PS4 and Xbox, I think.
Well,
which
whatever.
Is kind of rare. Because most of these games are actually coming out either for the Vita or Vita and PS4 or PS4. I think that's the only one I can think of right now. One of few that is coming out for the Xbox also.
I'm sad because all these JRPGs are now going to start migrating out of the Vita.
Yeah.
Well,
there's still... Drive Girls. That's kind of interesting.
That one's pretty interesting too. Girls that transform into cars and just hit the shit out of things. I mean, that's always a plus. Plus, I wanted to also address another game. I just had it on the tip of my tongue and I forgot now. Oh yes, Gundam.
Oh, Gundam?
Yeah, I'm actually waiting on that one too because I'm a huge Gundam fan. I like the Gundam games.
I know you are. I don't know. It's something about Gundam that never appealed to me. And I played
that's because you suck.
That is probably because I suck. I played that Gundam, the one that's like Dynasty Warriors. I have all 3 parts on the 360. But I played the first one. I was like getting my ass kicked, dude. And I got annoyed and I haven't gone back.
I think Gundam is fantastic. I mean, of course, I'm not going to give them my money blindly, but I mean, I'm going to see the game. If it's interesting, I'll buy it. That's how I generally look at things. If it's worth $60, I'll buy it. Though lately, I haven't been buying $60 games. I've been waiting for them to go on sale because I'm poor.
It's also that it's kind of hard to justify a $60 purchase today.
It is, especially when games are not living up to their hype. Or I should say, not living up to par. Because some games are just not worth it. I'll take, for example, Uncharted 4. Man, is that game fun.
Yeah. Have you beat it yet?
I haven't beat it. But I played it, and I played it for a little bit. I put it down, and then I came back, and I was like, holy shit, man. I'm enjoying this game. I want to play more of it. And it's just... And that's also a testament to the PlayStation 4 because some of the graphics on that game are amazing.
They definitely cheat a lot, though. There's a lot of blur, motion blur. There's a lot of checkerboard rendering.
Though they could do away with a lot of the sliding.
Oh, yeah, man. That's freaking sliding in the game. It's like they added a new mechanic and they had to do it every 30 seconds. What a pain.
Yeah, so...
Are you interested in that new Uncharted? The one that's like the 2 girls? Chloe and I forgot. I don't know.
I think it's like $40, right?
Probably. It's
or $30. Either way,
it's probably
I have
40.
to see a little bit more of it because there has to be significant amount of content for me to spend $40 in.
I'll wait till it's cheaper.
Yeah, I think I'll wait till it's cheaper too. But again, like I said, there has to be a significant amount of content for me to spend $40. You're talking about almost $20 away from a $60 game, and it's just an expansion.
Yeah.
So
probably all those things are probably pretty short expansions.
Exactly. And another thing, Horizon Zero Dawn. I loved Horizon Zero Dawn. I went back to it just recently, and it's a great game. I love it. I love playing it. I wish it would have been on PC because I would have loved to optimize the shit out of that. I mean, not optimize, but I mean basically throw it on ultra settings and run that puppy on high frame rates. I mean, I would have loved to see it on PC.
That's never going to be on a PC, man.
No, it's never going to be on a PC. Sony, you need to go back to actually allowing some of these games on PC. Please.
Those are console sellers, man. They'll never be on a PC. As long as Sony has a PlayStation.
I don't care if it's late. I just want it on PC eventually. But again, that's a story for another time. What else you got?
I guess the other thing that I saw was kind of interesting was that Ultimate Ninja Storm Legacy. It's like a pack with all the Ultimate Ninja games.
That's interesting. I'll still wait for it on sale, though.
I agree. I'm actually kind of pissed. And let me know in the comments below, those of you who collect games, if this happens to you a lot. I feel like a lot of times I get screwed. So I do those pickups, like, right, we do those pickups that people see. And a lot of times I buy a game and then later, like a couple months, maybe even a year later, before I've played the game, there's already a remake coming out. So this is one of those instances where I bought all the other ones and I have all of them, and yet I haven't played any of them yet. And so I wanted to go back and start getting into playing them, and now I'm like, crap, they're coming out on the PS4. Should I just get that instead? You know, because it includes the Road to, I forgot what the expansion of Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What I get pissed off is when they do things like Street Fighter.
That's a different story, but yeah.
Yeah, where you'll buy the game and then like a month or two later.
Actually, the Naruto games do that, yeah. They release like that, like the game, then the Ultimate, then the Classic.
Yeah, you start out with Street Fighter 5, then you start out with Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Ultra, Street Fighter Double Looper, I mean, before you know it, there's like 5 different versions of the game. I mean, every single time is like a $60 increment. It's a $60 game. Just look at Destiny. I don't
even want to talk about that garbage, Destiny. Yeah. Destiny really pissed me off, man. I usually am pretty proud of myself. I try my best not to be screwed. I bought the Taken King for like $25 or something when it was on sale. I was so freaking pissed, dude. So freaking pissed I bought that. That was a disappointment like no one's in. I already knew the game sucked. But I said, with like if you watch all these YouTubers who are kissing ass because they're getting their sponsorship, I get it. They're all saying that, everything was fixed. It's now a good game with all the expansions.
There's so much story.
No, man. No, dude. I beat the main story and I didn't know. I did not know I finished the main story. That's when a game is bad. I had no idea. I did that stupid thing where they're like all praying or whatever's going on. And I didn't know I beat the freaking game. I had no idea.
Well, with that said, talking about games that like to screw you over, I want to talk about our next topic. Square Enix and them wanting to screw you over for more money. Basically, I think it was the CEO was talking about how he wants to migrate the games to a service platform. What that means is basically they want to break up the games into episodes or services that charge more money on microtransactions, DLC, season passes, and episodes. So, take a game like Final Fantasy VII. We all want that game. I mean, it's one of those games that it's gonna sell like hotcakes.
Of course, I'm super interested.
Because it's if not the best, it's one of the best Final Fantasy games. For me, it's the best one. But again,
you like it more than 9?
I like it more than any other Final Fantasy. Period. Yeah. That's without a doubt. But anyway, they want to make it into episodes. Episodes that, to this day, we don't know how many. We don't know how many episodes we're going to get, what is going to be in those episodes, and why the fuck are they episodes? Because this is a game.
It's a service. It's much easier to have you coming back for more and more than come back for season 2 of the episodes. And look at Hitman. Hitman was like that, right? They were going to do a season 2. It just freaking bombed.
Yeah.
It bombed, so they just did a season 1. But I'm almost certain that Final Fantasy VII, people have been waiting decades for that. I'm almost certain it's going to sell like a mother.
I know, but
it's gonna sell.
So basically what he was trying to say is that it's going to, they want to structure their whole business around services and around episodes. So from now on, or at least going forward, they want to structure the games where you're constantly coming back for more content and charging you for more content. So basically, like we talked about, episodes where it never ends, or more DLC, more season passes, and this is basically
things like Mortal Kombat really pissed me off about that. Mortal Kombat, was it 10? Yeah, right. The last Mortal Kombat, where you got that DLC pass for four characters. Then season 2 comes along. You gotta get another season pass.
But this goes beyond that.
Of course, this is worse. But that's the kind of stuff that I think they're trying to get into.
Well, this goes in the way of chopping a game, or not even chopping a game. Basically saying, "Hey guys, what games are we gonna develop? Hey, we have an IP like Final Fantasy, or let's say the next Final Fantasy. We're gonna go ahead and instead of making a story, we're gonna chop it up into little pieces." Since the very get-go, episode 1, you meet the characters, done. During episode 1, we're going to charge you for emotes, skins, season passes, this and that. Now, let's leave them in a cliffhanger, episode 2. Or this is just an example that I'm coming up in my head, but you know that they're sitting down and making this huge
That's exactly
business proposal.
Look at the Telltale games. Every single episode ends on a cliffhanger, and then a shitty ending at the end. You know, that's what it is for the most part. There were some that were good in the beginning, but really they've gone down in quality. But that's a gimmick. At the end of every episode, you have that lost kind of TV show thing where it leaves you wanting more to come back and pay for the next one.
Yeah, so it basically boils down to greed. And that's what I am fearful of, because this is the way that they're kind of thinking. And then when you have companies like Ubisoft who are now saying that, no, we're not going to spend our time in campaigns. We're just going to give people an open world, let them mash buttons in between, run around, kill each other, kill NPCs, whatever, and then we're moving on to the next game.
Look at what's happening with games like For Honor. There's nobody playing. I mean, there's still people playing, but there's a huge drop-off.
95% of their player base dropped off.
But you know, it's a sad thing. This is what gets me. Please comment down below what you think about games like For Honor, because it blows my mind that it sells so freaking well. I think it was like the top-selling game in Europe or something. It's incredible to me.
Well, this is the thing. They've learned the strategy. They've learned that they hit you fast and get the fuck out. Basically, they're like, they know that within the first 2 months they're gonna sell as many games as possible, and then after that, we're not supporting any more content. We don't care about anything else. We're on to the next one, Wildlands. We're on to the one after that, whatever it's gonna be called, and so forth, because they know it works. It's get people fast and then just drop off. And these games,
it really does work because they're selling a ton of money, man.
They are.
They're selling a ton of copies.
They are, and this maybe it's not you guys, but maybe it's younger generations or whatever. But to a certain extent, I kind of feel people, you got to stop, because this is only making things worse. Because the way they see is that they even talked about it. The way they see is like, hey man, these guys, they spend a ton of money on steel. They always wanted in For Honor, they wanted as much of the content as possible. Hey, that means we're doing great. Let's charge people more microtransactions. And they even talked about this, that more microtransactions on every game. They were
using the example of the Grand Theft Auto, the online. That how much it made, I think, over 700 something million in 1 year.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Why do you think these guys haven't made another Grand Theft Auto? Because for them, they're making a ton of money on Shark Money and so forth. They don't need to. And they're like, why waste our time making another game? Why even keep on
why pay voice actors? Why pay writers to make a good story? We could just have an empty multiplayer. And maybe it is fun. I'm not taking that away. But we could just focus on multiplayer and make a ton of money, which is what they did with games like Star Wars Battlefront, which is what they're still kind of doing with this Battlefront. Don't be fooled with that no season pass crap that they're trying to sell you. You're still not getting a real story. Mind you, the E3 presentation of Battlefront, they spent 30 minutes on the multiplayer, and they gave you a quick trailer of the story mode without even really talking about it. That lets you know that there's no emphasis on the story. So again, this is becoming a thing, and I really hate where this is going. It's like this surface level. There's no depth. There's nothing to the game, but just coming in like an arcade, which is okay. Arcades are still fun, but we need substance in games.
Well, see,
we need games like Yakuza. You know what I mean? Like games that mean something.
Yeah, that's why games like Horizon, Uncharted, they're so refreshing when you play them. Persona, they're so refreshing when you play them, because you're like, wow, I felt like I actually enjoyed myself. I didn't feel empty. I'm like, you're just picking up those games, button mashing, and after a while you're like, it's whatever. But that's the way that basically what they're talking about, that it's going to be a service. They want it to be a service, and they just want more money. So that is scary in itself, because that means you're going to get shittier games, and they're going to want you to pay for more. In fact, I think it was the Grand Theft Auto guy, the main CEO or the boss, I forget if it was him, but basically was talking that people who pay $60 for the game and just play the game, those are leeches. He doesn't want that type of person. He wants the person that sits there and pays a regular fee every so often. So if it's left up to these people, you'd be paying a monthly fee or a weekly fee, and on top of that, more for everything else. If they could charge you per bullet, they would. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Here's the question. I don't know what you want to talk about next, but thinking about the idea of charging you for everything. What do you think about the SNES Classic?
Oh, well, I guess we'll talk about that first. Here's the thing. I think the SNES Classic is one of those things. I want it. I want one. I won't lie.
I want one too.
I won't lie.
I'm more interested in that than the NES.
But let me tell you, Nintendo pisses me off to no end because it's their business practice of not having enough for anybody. And they seem to, they're like, okay, we're producing more of them. How many more? We're not going to tell you. I mean, they're really not going to have enough for everybody. If you really think about it, even if they would have started right at the last year in December, mass production on these suckers, they still wouldn't have enough for how many people actually want this system. You think that they're going to have enough between September and December? Because they've made it clear this is going to end in at the end of the year. They're not going to have any more in January like they did the last one, or they're going to bring up more of the NES. So that's it. If you don't get it now, you're pretty much almost guaranteed that you're not going to get it. So that pisses me off because you know that there's a lot of people that want it, and they could literally mass produce these and have them year round and they'll still make money. But that's the Nintendo philosophy of not making enough.
That's part of how that business model helps them look good for investors because they're always sold out, and it really helps things create a sense of urgency and demand. That's what it really does. Because don't tell me it's by mistake and they don't know. No, it's the same thing they do with Amiibos. The same thing they do with the Wii U. They did with the Wii U. Same thing, not the Wii U, sorry, with the Wii. Same thing they did with the Switch. It doesn't change. That is their business model, to always be under to create demand.
Yeah, and this is a strategy that they've been using for many years.
And it works.
Listen, they want to portray themselves as family friendly, but at the end of the day, guys, don't believe everything. It's a business, and they want your money. That's the bottom line. So what they want is your money, and they want guarantee that their stuff is going to sell like hotcakes. And how to do that? Make sure that you don't have enough. So that way, when they bring out a Switch, you go running. You go your ass running. You leave your wife, whatever you have to do to make sure that you're there in line to get a Switch. And that's the bottom line. But it is what it is. I mean, I do want one, and I think I would enjoy it. But again, it's scary because getting your hands on one, especially now that I hear that in the UK, a lot of orders are being canceled. And I didn't like a lot of the journalists actually stating like, great, scalpers are now not getting. No, the majority of people that this is happening to are people that are actually actually want it. This is not about just scalping. Yes, there are scalpers. I'm not gonna turn a blind eye and say that there aren't people that are buying.
Yeah, but the scalpers, if people really hate them, let me tell you the truth. Hate on Nintendo. They're enabling the scalpers to do what they do because of the way they do business.
And they know it. They know it too. They know that listen, there's no scalper that's going to show up on eBay and have a picture of at least 20 or 30 of those suckers without having some direct connection to distribution. Because nobody can get 20 or 30 of those suckers and post a picture on eBay and say, hey, I have 20 or 30 of them, come and get them. You can't get that many unless you have an army of people waiting, or you somehow have your own little business or whatever, and you're part of the distribution chain.
Think about what happens with comic books when a variant cover comes out just for the comic shop. All that does is, and the companies know it. These comic book publishers know it. They give them a variant cover so the comic book store can sell it on eBay for $50, $80 or in person. That's what pissed me off about the Power Rangers comic book.
Oh my god, yeah.
And let us know if you guys read comic books. Maybe we could talk about them more often. Or if you read the Power Rangers one. But there was a really good Power Ranger comic book that was coming out. I stopped reading because I got pissed off with the covers, man. They kept doing all these variant covers. And all the comic shops, because it was a variant cover, one per comic shop or one per area, whatever, they jack up the price to like $40 or $50.
So let me explain that. They have if you guys know about Power Rangers, you guys know that there's 6 original Rangers. Sorry, 5, and then you have the Green Ranger, and then he turns into the White Ranger. So they had 5 covers: the yellow, blue, red, pink, and black. Then they busted out with a green. Of course, everybody's gonna want the green. It's one of the favorite Rangers of all time. So for I think it was every 1,000 or 250 comics that were
Well,
produced.
the whole game. I remember talking to a comic shop owner. You had to order a certain amount.
Yeah, so
based on how many you ordered, you got that cover.
Exactly. So if the comic book shop ordered, I think it was like 25, they'll get one of the Green Ranger. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Not 25. 250. I think they'll get
green, and 100 was the white.
Was it 100?
I think 100 was the white.
Or 1,000.
No, I think it was 100.
Whatever the case is, if you ordered, I'll give you an example because I don't remember the exact number, but if you order like 250 comics, you'll get the majority of them are the 5 colors, but you might get one green out of every 250. If you order like 500, you'll get one green and one white. So comic book shops, they will go ahead and get these and put them up on their wall, and they know that people want.
You know it's them because they have it before anybody else has it up on eBay. Kind of like the NES Classic. You know the small shops that get it because they're the ones that have it up first.
Yeah, or the people that have channels that they can get distribution of it. So you go and to the comic shop, and this $2.99 comic, they'll have it for like $100. And when you ask them, hey, wait a minute, $100? He's like, yeah, well, demand, baby.
It's on eBay for that.
It's on eBay for that. Buy for $100. And this is the slimy little deal that happens. This is the same in a lot of companies. And this whole idea that some scalper has 100 Super NESs because he was able to pre-order 100 of them, that's not happening, guys. You might get some people, yes, they might be able to pre-order 2 or 3 or a little bit more if they're able to do it in different shops or different places. But this whole idea that you see on eBay that some of these people have 30 or 40 Super NESs or NES Classics, those are companies. Those are distributors that actually have it in a copy. And that pisses me off too because this could be all solved by them mass producing a lot more than what they're actually doing.
How cheap it must be to produce that box?
Dude, it must be incredibly cheap.
They can easily produce many and have leftover and just have it there selling, waiting to be sold. Like a console.
I actually think that they wouldn't have leftover. I think even if they have a small amount, they'd be making so much money out of this system that it would negate the difference. And even people that right now can't get it, they'll get it during the year. I mean, this system is going to sell like hotcakes. It already is. It's sold out in less than 20 minutes in Europe. So that should tell you how much people want it. But anyway, moving on, I guess I want to talk about the Xbox One X.
Oh, geez. I'm tired about hearing the Scorpio.
Yeah, I pretty much made...
the Scorpio.
Yeah, I pretty much basically got in Player One kind of sick about it because I'm always talking about 4K. So it sounds like, like one of those commercials like 4K, 4K, 4K. And, he's getting tired of it. But in any case, he always tires me about car racing games. So
you never play them, dude. What are you talking about?
Still, you're always talking about them. So
because I'm trying to get you to do it, you never do it.
So yeah, I'm gonna ignore you. So basically, the Xbox One X and 4K, or should I say, true 4K? What a gimmick! It's not native 4K. It's not a native 4K system, guys. Don't be fooled by the hype. Will you get a first-party system, a first-party game like Forza to run at 4K natively? Yeah, probably so. A game like Forza is not like a game like Horizon Zero Dawn, or even first-party games that Microsoft makes. Will they run at 4K? Yeah, but let's be real about this too. The Crackdown is not going to run at 60 frames.
Yeah. First of all, we don't even know what it's going to run like because we don't have any real gameplay.
Yeah, so
it's definitely not going to run at 60 frames.
Exactly. So here's the deal. It's not native 4K. They're using checkerboard rendering just like the PS4 Pro, and they're using other little tricks here to make it look good. Is that a bad thing? Of course not, guys. It's a great thing. I mean, they've done a lot of good engineering with the system and with both the hardware and the software to actually make it look good. And that's a good thing. But don't go advertising the system as an uncompromised 4K system. True 4K. Mind you, they say true 4K. That true 4K. So what are you trying to tell me by true 4K?
It's just a marketing gimmick. That's exactly what it is.
It is. It's just like VR. It is a gimmick. And that's the bottom line. They're trying to sell you on a hype of a system that's not really 4K. That's the bottom line. Will the games look great? Yes, they will. They're probably like, in my eyes, like Ultra HD games. And here's another thing, guys, that I want to talk about is these games are 4K. They're going to use your data caps, if you have data caps, like crazy, because the Forza is going to have 100 gig download on day one just on an update. That's not including the game. So yeah, basically this is going to eat your bandwidth or in your data cap, because these games, as Forza is going to have 100 gig download, and then you're going to have to download the game. So just on one game, you have anywhere from 10 to 16% of your whole total hard drive space, and you're going to get less than 1 terabyte. So it's a killer, man. Any way you look at it. Plus, you have to buy a 4K TV if you don't have one, and make sure it has HDR and that it's compatible. So those are all things you have to think about. That's why the majority of America doesn't have 4K TVs yet. I would have preferred them going with a 1080p with 60 frames a second, or at very least Ultra HD, and being upfront about it. Not this false advertisement that it's uncompromised 4K. That's BS, man. It's not uncompromised 4K. It is not even 4K. Only your first-party games will probably run at native 4K.
Can you imagine getting a game, even like a Forza title? You get home and you want to go play it online, and you can't, because before you do that, you have to download the 8, 10, 12 gig patch, and then the 100 gig patch that's mandatory for everyone, whether you have the Pro or whatever they call it, Scorpio, or not.
Well, just think about games like Call of Duty, where generally by the time they're done, they're about 60 to 90 gigs.
More than that. I think the Advanced or the Advanced Warfare is 98 or something.
Yeah, so then...
Not counting the last one, because I didn't bother downloading it.
Yeah, so then add a 4K patch, which could run up to 100 gigs. Before you know it, you've got the same problem you had before. You can only have like 5 or 6 games on a 1 terabyte system.
And if you're downloading these games every time...
Yeah, that's going to run up your data cap. But that's what I wanted to talk about, guys. Basically, don't believe the hype. Read everything and know what you're getting into.
And be very careful with these YouTubers and articles, because you're going to find a lot of people that sell out, man. People want an Xbox. People want the exclusivity of being able to... Like, you saw many YouTubers that recorded the Xbox the day of the E3 when they released the Scorpio or the Xbox One X. They did a little like 4 or 5 minute video that they put on their channel later on. Do you think anybody talking crap about the Xbox was going to have that?
Of course not. But here's my bottom line. Stop lying. It's not a native 4K system. Yes, your first party games may run at that point, but nothing's going to run at 4K 60 frames all the time.
I don't buy any natively game running at native 4K on that in that hardware. It may be better than any other console,
but it's not going to run native 4K, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah,
it's not going to run all games natively at 4K at 60 frames. It just can't handle that. But with that said, that's what I wanted to bring up, guys. Just be smart about what you're purchasing, and make sure that you're not getting, I guess the best word, bamboozled.
Bamboozled?
Yeah. So,
I haven't heard that since like the 80s, dude.
Yeah, so basically that. Don't believe the hype. Be smart. And don't give up your money so easily.
Yeah. Especially for microtransactions. Stop it. Don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
what are you playing now?
Well, like I just said, I went back to Horizon. I played some Uncharted 4.
You know, Horizon has a new...
I'm not done yet, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm not done. This is my time. So, I'm playing some Half-Life 2, which I just got on some of the Steam sales. So, make Half-Life 3.
Again, they're not going to do it because they're making, I think, 8 or 9 billion a year just on Steam, the service. Why even bother publishing a game?
Yeah, I understand that. But anyway, I still want Half-Life 3.
So you said, wait, hold on. So you're playing Half-Life 2.
Yeah. Uncharted 4. Horizon Zero Dawn. And I might play something else along the way. I don't know. But that's basically what I've been doing lately. And just saving money.
Did you start a new Horizon Zero Dawn game or what?
No, just playing the actual game, just running around, killing shit, and having fun. I'm planning to actually play it again because I like the story.
Well, you know what? I'm actually in the process of finishing up a review.
Yeah,
so I found this out.
No, I'm just kidding. But go ahead.
I found this out. They just released a patch for a New Game Plus. Until now. But they just released it. So now if you want to start the game over again, you can now play the New Game Plus and start it with all your stuff. Which is awesome because you can start with that, like the armor that makes you invincible.
Oh, cool. I like that.
So you can, if you want to do it again.
Oh, yeah. And I'm playing Wonderful 101. I very much like it. I think it's an amazing game. I like the art. I like the premise, but I hate the stylus thing. I hate how
they had to use it as a gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, I hate. That's what got me off of Star Fox from the Wii U, and that's kind of how Nintendo likes to do their things. They like to force you onto their little gimmicky things, and I don't like that. I want to play the game. I want to be immersed in it. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me eat my potato chips and play the video game. So basically, that. I know I'm ranting, but it is a fun game, guys. Very fun. I recommend it if you don't have it. So,
whatever happened to, were you playing Dark Souls or Bloodborne?
I'm done with that, man. I told you, I get mad at it and
you step away for a little bit?
I step away from it.
Taking a break?
I'm taking a break.
All right. Makes sense.
So, with that said, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, you want me to ask you about your games?
So I'm playing XCOM.
Oh, okay.
Enemy Unknown. I've never played that one before. I'm having fun on the 360 playing it. I assume it's better on PC, but I actually like using the control pad, the controller. I beat Yakuza about a month and a half ago, so I got to do that review too. I'm playing Bravely Default.
Yeah, I know that.
I got into Toy Soldiers again.
Yes, that's right.
We should do a review on that one.
We played Toy Soldiers again. It's actually very fun. I didn't like... Well, I'm not going to even touch on what happened when it first came out. But anyway, it's a fun game. If you guys haven't played it, play it. Because it's one of those games that if you have somebody else that you can do couch co-op, it's great. I mean, but do not get the cheaper version. Get the one that I think is the deluxe.
It's called the War Chest Edition.
Yes, do not get the other one.
Let's do a review on that game, because I think a lot of people don't know about it. And when I tried finding out if it was good or not before I bought it, I couldn't really find a review. Okay. And by the way, guys, if you guys want to see a review, I know we haven't done many, but please check out our review, see if you like that style. And if there's any game that you want to see reviewed, let us know and we'll get to it as fast as we can.
Yeah, man. Just let us know, and we'll go ahead and make a video.
Well, you know what? I'm not playing right now, but I beat it in a day and a half. The Star Fox 64 or whatever on the 3DS.
Took you a day and a half, man?
Yeah, I had to take a break. But I got all the paths and everything, all the medals and all that stuff.
You really suck.
I forgot how to play at first. It took me a while to play. But man, it was playing that in 3D was awesome, man.
I could imagine.
It was nice.
I could imagine. I mean, I love Star Fox. I just don't like the last one. But that's why I want to kind of get the NES, the Super NES, because... The Super NES Classic, because it has Star Fox 2, and I've been wanting to play that game since forever.
Did you ever play that released one or whatever?
No. So this will be a new experience for me, so it'll be great if I'm able to get one. So I guess with that said, I'm done.
Yeah. All right. That's what we're up to. Maybe we should do a collection video.
I guess if I don't tell you that we're done, I mean, you'll keep on talking.
Yeah, man. I guess we should go play some games instead.
Yeah. No, what were you saying?
Maybe we should. You want to do do you guys let us know if you like seeing our collection videos where I have player 2 come over and talk about my collection. You want to do another one?
I think so. I think we could do another collection
video.
I can we can do some other videos too. I mean, give us some ideas, guys. What do you guys want to see?
You know what happens to us a lot? We're still a small channel. We're kind of growing. Sometimes we don't know. I have a bunch of ideas of stuff I want to do, but it really takes a long time. And so I don't want to do something that people aren't interested in. So if you guys have any ideas, let us know and we'll get to it then.
Yeah, if you guys want to have talk about certain topics, hot topics, whatever the case is, we'll talk about them, man. I love getting debates on.
Yeah.
So I guess cool. Anything else?
No, I can't think of anything else for now. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Hurry up, man! I gotta pee, dude.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching and listening, I guess.
Yeah. So this is Player 2.
And this is Player 1 signing out.
Later.